Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a quick sandy trace that I like to make. This trace that I learned from one of the Free State guys. I went and spoke to him, and I saw exactly what he's doing, and I worked it a little bit and designed. Because on the, if you got any fishing league or something like that, especially down Eastern Cape, all the way through Cape Town, there's a lot of sandies around, little baby lessers. And with nationals, you need to chase chase the weight, you just as many fish as quick as possible, work rate all the time. And I find this trace gives me a little bit more distance in casting, because I do struggle sometimes to cast baits that are very flexible and wobbly. I struggle to give them that little bit of extra distance, and I saw what this guy done, and I worked it out a little bit better to actually make it run properly. It's got that streamlined cast. When it lands, it breaks apart. It just sits perfectly, because you find a lot of the times that you're picking up your sandies like a little bit closer, and the sizes on that bigger, a little bit further away, they get a bit bigger. And honestly, it's within every year nationals, within 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I'm onto the sandy, quickly go measure, rack up the next bait, back in again, another one. So within half an hour, you're sitting quickly 4 or 5 sandies, no problem. And this is the trace that I like to use. I think I'm gonna have to really share it with you guys, because it does work. I've tested it now. It does work properly. Okay. So obviously I've got my fluorocarbon. I like to use fluorocarbon because it works better for me. I like fluorocarbon. This is actually a 40 pound, even though it says 50 on there. It's actually a 40 because I reused my trace rings and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to drag off just a meter. So here we go, got a quick meter over there. Okay, off that meter, I've got my little tri-swivel. Okay, when it comes to tri-swivels, I only use normal single line barrel power swivels, not barrel or powers, but tries I use normal barrel. It's quick fisherman's knot. I mean, again, it's you're targeting small lessers, so the knot doesn't have to be 100%. Drag that one on there, nice and neat. Trim it down nicely. Okay, got your nice little knot over there. Set up. Okay. Off that guy. Okay, now obviously this is your main trace line that's running through. Okay. So off my main trace line, I like to put a little slide swivel for your sinker. So my little earbud, I'm going to melt the edge down over there. Okay, so you can see it's created a little bit of a lip. Carry on blowing it till it gets obviously like a matte finish. Once it's got that matte finish, you know it's not melting anymore. Okay, then what I do is I take my swivel, slide it through there. Dump. So your swivel can't come off on that side. So what I do is trim off the other edge, about 1/2 centimeter, somewhere around there. Then I normally like to straighten it a bit so it's nice and round in the center. Grab them like that, and I'm going to melt the other edge off. There we go. So you can see I've got my little barrel swivel going over there with my little bit of earbud. Okay, that just creates more slide on the line. Okay, cheaper than buying all the other rigs and things like that. Now, what I have found is that if you use the earbud, sometimes if your sinker pulls into a rock or something stupid, who knows? I found rocks in places that people will not believe me. But basically, if that plastic from the earbud can pull onto the swivel, it sometimes tightens up and doesn't want to break loose. Okay, so what I do is, I will show you here. I've got them little glass beads, these little okies that I use. So slide my glass bead on, slide my swivel on, like that, and I slide a little glass bead afterwards. Okay, so there you can see now I've got my little slide swivel for my sinker. Okay, and like I say, that just stops it sometimes from maybe pulling tight onto the actual nut itself. It cannot pull tight onto that. Okay, so from there, yes, I've got my meter going. I want to put another barrel swivel. That's going to go through to your hook, your end hook. Okay. And like I say again, this is for small lessers, so your knots don't have to be deadly strong. Believe you me, that's more than enough that you need. Okay, I mean, I can basically build these traces in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, somewhere around there. Okay. Okay, so I've got that going. I'm going to grab another piece of line over here. So where is my, okay, let me use another piece now. I don't know where that, oh, there's the other piece over there. Okay, now for my hooks, I like to use short hooks, but very, very strong shank on it, very strong metal on it. Okay, so in the bottom, on the top like that. I'm going to take it, I'm going to twist it, so I'm making a loop, and I take the top of that loop and I run it through the top to the inside. Okay, so there you'll be able to see now, there's the end, there's your top. Okay, put a bit of spit on there, take it and start twisting it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I end up normally on 8 because it's pretty much in line with the hook point. Okay, now that it's in line with the hook point, I'm going to grab the tag end over there that goes to the main line, and I'm going to pull it. And be careful when pulling it that you don't burn the line, obviously. Okay. So once I pull it tight, you can see that snell knot sitting on there. And the reason from outside in is because if you pull the line, it turns the hook. So even if I'm putting it straight, it seems to turn the line. Okay. I'm obviously going to trim off that excess pretty short. The nice thing with that snell is it cannot go back on itself. As much as I push, it won't go back on itself. And it is super tight. Okay. Take that. You're looking at about 30 centimeters onto my single barrel swivel. Well, power swivel, let's put it that way. I always call it single barrel swivel, I don't know why. Single power swivel. I'm used to old school. That guy is fuss. Okay. Trim it back as well. So there's my swivel running through to my hook. Now this is my end hook. Okay. Now let's go back to my triangular now. Okay. So again, take another 30 centimeters or so, just a little bit longer obviously, so I can work on the length of it once I've cut it. Okay, so I've got my little anti-swivel or anti-tangle sleeves, let's put it that way, which we'll use now. But before we use that, we're going to make another one of those little snell knots. Okay. Okay, again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, in line with that hook. That's no knot. Pull them nice and tight. If you need to, sometimes I just hook it around something. Just drag it so it's nice and tight and it can't come loose at all. Okay, so that is now, here's my hook with my snell knots on. Boom, job done. I'm going to slide my anti-tangle on, small side towards the hook, big side towards the swivel. Okay, so there's my anti-tangle on. Okay, then what I like to do is obviously slide it through my triangle. Okay, I like to hook my two hooks together. If I can get it like that. Okay, so as you see, I've got my two hooks together now at the moment. Reason being for that is that when I tie up that knot on the triangular swivel, okay, you see there's the hook, here's my barrel, and here's my sliding sinker. Okay, so when I actually hook up the bait, I actually put my two hooks together like that. Sliding sinker, so when I cast, my sinker pulls with the hooks together, and when it lands, it basically just, boop, it unhooks. So it unhooks itself, falls off, and I've got a bit more distance. But the trick is as the bait lands in the water, okay, you got to give it a slow bit of reel, because the problem is everything's going to land like this in a big tangle knot. So you got to watch your bait as it hits that water, and your triangular swivel goes through. You tighten up your line just a little bit to give it that pull, just to straighten out so it doesn't tangle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, obviously it's enough distance over there, so I'm going to tie up my hook line on my triangular swivel like that. Okay, and off of that I've got my anti-tangle sleeve, which I'm going to slide down now, and I'm going to slide it over that head of that swivel. Okay, and that just helps it from, if it's lying like that, that's how your trace is basically going to be lying. Okay, it doesn't give it any gap to really do a proper tangle. Okay, It just keeps the lines slightly. And this is a normal anti-tangle sleeve for carp fishing. I bought them from China Mall, $28 for like 10. Cheap. Okay. I've seen guys use normal tubing as well. It works. Normal silicone tubing. It works perfectly fine. So there's your anti-tangle. There you can see it goes through to that hook. From that swivel through to your swivel for your sinker, which runs that entire meter. Okay. Through to your main hook, which lies on the floor. Okay. So that's a quick, easy sandy trace. And that was literally a couple of minutes you saw there. Look, honestly, I tie these things, like I say, within 3 to 4 minutes, it is done. It's very quick, easy. Okay. Like I said, it gives you a little bit of extra distance, hitting those two hooks together, casting it out. You're getting that nice streamline. As it lands, when your triangular swivel basically jams in, start tightening up a little bit just to give it that, to distance those two hooks, and then tighten it up, and your grappling will then sit, and then you wait. And guaranteed 3-4 minutes, you're on with the fish. Pull them in. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that one.